From local sports to national newsmakers, this is the show everybody is talking about. Live from the Granite State, it's Mike and the Hoss on the Pulse of New Hampshire.
Good morning and welcome to the Mike and the Hoss Show, powered by the Yum Shop on the Pulse of New Hampshire. I'm Mike Danae, and alongside Charlie Hossack, we are Mike and the Hoss. Charlie with a little bit of technical issues, but he's on his phone, so I think we got that solved. I want to mention before we go to Dog in studio that this is Charlie. This is the 7th year in a row that we have not been invited to the Granite State Mikes, the awards for radio. I don't understand it. Maybe the invitation is getting lost in the mail because how could they possibly be ignoring us?
Yes, I just checked my spam folder just to see if it was in there. But I mean, we are the best sports talk show in New Hampshire, Mike. Number one.
I feel pretty confident saying that. Yeah. I don't know if we have a lot of competition, but I feel like we are the number one sports show in New Hampshire. And how there's got to be that category there. Or they just ignoring it. They're ignoring the sports talk show category for the Granite State Mikes. And I think it's been lost in the mail. I think that's what's happening.
They must not have the category because they don't realize that, who the best is. And the sad thing is, I got my hair cut this week and it would have been perfect. I have a brand new suit that I've only worn once that I could have worn. I mean, this is an opportunity. I think Vinny Media, you're missing out on this opportunity to have Mike and the Hoss join you at the Granite Mikes.
I think we were locks. We were locks this year, and again, 7 years in a row. I don't understand it. I just don't understand.
This was our year.
Yeah, 2026. That's the one. That's the one we get the invite for.
Yeah.
Dog, how are you?
Beautiful weather outside. October baseball. Not for the Cleveland Guardians or the Boston Red Sox. I spent $107 on 2 hats that are still in the mail, and they're going to come Monday that say postseason on the back of them for Cleveland, but guess I don't need them for this year.
No, but they'll be good. There'll be, collector's items. Good for you.
On Thursday night, I took out my Red Sox sweatshirt and another sweatshirt that I was going to wear to school. If the Red Sox won, it was the Red Sox sweatshirt. And if they didn't, it was the other one. And the other one, the Red Sox, is back on the shelf. So unfortunately, that was it.
Yeah, I had my Red Sox t-shirt to wear to school, which I didn't put on. And guess what sweatshirt I donned last night? I put on the Patriots sweatshirt instead of the Red Sox. So
definitely turning the page. All right. Mike and the Hoss is powered by the Yum Shop, located in the heart of downtown Wolfboro, and can be found on the Pulse of New Hampshire radio stations and all over the world on the Pulse of New Hampshire app. You can always catch up and listen to our previous shows on the Pulse Podcast Network, Spreaker, Audible, Amazon Music, or wherever you get your podcasts. The Yum Shop has over 100 varieties of fresh baked goods, including 6 different types of bread and a full-service ice cream bar, and, of course, their most famous item, the gingerbread cookie. Make sure to visit the Yum Shop the next time you're in Wolfboro or online at yumshop.com. And while you're there, enter the discount code of Mike and the Hoss to receive 20% off a Gingy Box. Now, you can join our conversation, 603-228-2080. That is 603-228-2080. And thank you to the Heinz Group of Philadelphia and London for sponsoring our live feed on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. And our social media, Charlie?
Yes, we are on X. We're on Instagram, of course, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. Check out TikTok. TikTok's a lot of fun. So give us a like, follow us, write a comment or two. We love to interact with our listeners.
All right. Opening Things brought to you by the Back Bay Boathouse,
where you can enjoy delicious food and drinks right next to the lake. Don't forget to order their $5 Mike and the Hoss penalty box during happy hour Monday through Friday from 3 to 5 p.m. They're also having some specials this weekend. I mean, it's fair season, right? Fair season in the great state of New Hampshire and Maine. They're doing a flight of fair drinks where there are different types of obviously alcoholic beverages that taste like things you can get at the fair, like, caramel, popcorn, and cotton candy and things like that. So check them out at the Back Bay Boathouse. You can sit this weekend. The weather's beautiful, as Dog said. You can sit out on their deck, soak in the sun, and look at beautiful Back Bay.
All right. Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go?
Yeah, I'll go first, and then don't forget. I want to make sure you want to come back. You have something about the Ryder Cup, but I just
I have a couple itches to scratch, so I'm gonna why don't you go?
I just wanted to talk a little bit about the WNBA. So the WNBA finals are going on right now. And last night was game 1. The Aces The Las Vegas Aces beat the Phoenix Mercury. So that's kind of the WNBA. We talked off air that attendance of the games is up, but viewership is down. And Mike, you had actually made a comment that like ESPN, it's kind of getting stuck on their back page. And here we are in the WNBA finals. So the WNBA, if you've been listening to the show, know that we've kind of been harsh on it. And with Caitlin Clark being injured this year, they're struggling with people staying interested in the WNBA. And part of the problem seems to be the commissioner of the WNBA, and her name is Kathy Engelbert. Napheesa Collier made some comments the other day, essentially just kind of put it into a nutshell. She said that the WNBA has the worst leadership in the world. She said this during her, Collier said this during her exit interview. She said that there needs to be more accountability. She criticized the league office to address the officiating issues, player safety. Of course, they're in the middle of fighting for their CBA, their collective bargaining agreement. They're not really that close to getting that done. She then recalled, being Collier, recalled a conversation that she had with Kathy Engelbert, where the commissioner suggested that the league's platform, being the WNBA, was crucial for players like Caitlin Clark to earn substantial off-court income. So guys, Caitlin Clark doesn't need the WNBA to be mega wealthy, because remember, these were NIL deals that she signed back in college. She's making millions and millions of dollars because of NIL. This previous to even the WNBA. So her coming into the WNBA doesn't help Caitlin Clark. It actually helps the WNBA. So Engelbert was kind of off with that comment. And then, Collier then went on to state that the league seemed disinterested on the on-court product and player well-being. Things that that we've talked about. Kathy Engelbert responded prior to the WNBA finals game, and basically she said there's work to be done to repair the relationships with players in the league, and she called some inaccuracies in Napheesa Collier's kind of montage that she had there. And she said that she's going to do whatever she can to improve the league. And my take is the best thing that Kathy Engelbert can do is either step down or that she should be fired by the WNBA board of directors, because we're trying to pinpoint what is the problem with the WNBA. Why are they not successful as an organization? And maybe a lot of it has to do with the leadership and the commissioner. And with any organization that's not doing well, what do? Who do you get rid of? You don't get rid of the players, you get rid of the top brass. And Kathy Engelbert needs to go. Your thoughts?
I don't disagree that they probably need to change at the top, because however many years the WNBA has been around for almost 30 years now, and they're still treading water. They had the bump with Caitlin Clark, an obvious bump with Caitlin Clark, and they did everything they could. The players, the players especially, did everything they could to put water on that flame, because that they had momentum. They had momentum with that group, with Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark coming out of college. There was a little rivalry right there. The Olympics happened. They had a lot of momentum, and the mistake, in my opinion, what the WNBA did is they gave Angel Reese a voice. I really do. I think that they gave her too much of a platform and too much of a voice to trash Caitlin Clark, and a few of the other players joined in with Angel Reese. And instead of recognizing Caitlin Clark as the meal ticket, they made her as the enemy. And it turned off a lot of people. It turned off me. It turned off you. It turned off a lot of fans. So now fans were just tuning in for Caitlin Clark. Right. They weren't, and so they created that environment that if Caitlin's not playing, I'm not watching. And which is exactly the opposite of what they should have been doing. They should have been using Caitlin Clark to piggyback and raise the awareness of these other players, but they didn't. They did the opposite of it. They made it so that it was Caitlin Clark versus the WNBA. Right. And now you get people choosing sides. And they didn't want a lot of people on the WNBA side anyway, as it was. I mean, we said they've been treading water for 30 years. And so now you made division within the WNBA and within the fan base of the WNBA. And as soon as Caitlin Clark stepped to the side, there was a lot of hype about that All-Star game in Indiana that, leading up to it.
Right.
until Caitlin Clark, couldn't play in it.
Right.
And then you watched. I mean, you talked about the tickets, Charlie. They went from $85 to like giving them away.
Yeah.
Because the audience it wasn't there without Caitlin Clark, and leadership at the WNBA has not been able to fix that. There's still time. I mean, it's Caitlin Clark's 24 years old, so she's not like she's old or anything like that, but there's still time. But I think that you're seeing these other teams like the Dream, who benched Angel Reese for comments that were not helpful, and we're seeing what's that? Sky,
not
Sky. Sorry, Sky. The Chicago Sky, and they need more of that. I think that the WNBA needs more of the stepping on players that are not promoting the league and doing an injustice to the league itself. And we saw too many players have that platform and did that in a negative way.
Yeah. What do you think? And Doug, I'd like to have your take on this. What are your thoughts about, like, you look at the league, like, Collier was she's the co-founder of Unrivaled. And you have the Unrivaled League that is, that 3-on-3 tournament, and they are just, it's awesome. I mean, like, I'm a huge fan of that. It's fun to watch that that type of basketball, and they're having great success. But then you have the WNBA that you can't, you're not finding success with the WNBA. It's been over, close to 30 years, and these pop-up Unrivaled, we'll use as an example, is having great success and sponsorship, and people are excited and jazzed. And Caitlin Clark is not playing in it this year, but still, I'm going to tune in, and it's fun to watch. Thoughts, Doug?
Well, Kathy Engelbert's never going to be off the record with anybody else ever again after this little controversy with Napheesa Collier. That's for sure.
Yeah.
The change is going to have to be made because, again, the WNBA has a chance here still to really, because they've got new teams coming out next year with the Toronto Tempo and the Portland Fire, I believe, are going to be coming into the WNBA next year. So more teams. Also, Juju Watkins is going to be going into the WNBA in the next year or two. So you've got a chance for another budding superstar. Paige Beckers was Rookie of the Year for the Dallas Wings. They've got to build on that. So you've got the chance here. But this is almost like the NBA, guys. Adam Silver is a terrible commissioner, okay? He had the chance to become the best commissioner with the Donald Sterling firing or removing him as owner, with Steve Ballmer coming in as owner of the Clippers. But now you're seeing this controversy with the Clippers circumventing the salary cap with a shell company, and the whole thing that's a mess. Adam Silver has made all sorts of messes when it comes to the WNBA All-Star Game, when it comes to foreign relations with the WNBA and with the NBA rather. Kathy Engelbert was supposed to have a press conference before the WNBA finals, but because they're doing damage control because of the Napheesa Collier comments, and she's not wrong, by the way. Collier is not wrong at all. This is damning. And something's going to have to happen. And as you mentioned, Charlie, the players, they're not going to get fired. They're the players. Essentially, what I think is going to happen is the players are going, the WNBA players, because they've got a potential lockout on the way. They just secured a USA Network TV deal, though, which is great. But I actually could envision where the WNBA players pretty much are like the NBA players, and they are going to walk all over whoever the new commissioner is going to be, like they have with Adam Silver.
Charlie, can you clarify something on the comments that you made? You said Collier recalled the conversation with Engelbert where commissioner suggested that the league's platform was crucial for players like Caitlin Clark to earn substantial off-court income. What is behind that? Is that a knock at Caitlin Clark, or is it a knock at
It's a knock at Caitlin Clark, saying basically what, in Engelbert's words, she's saying that without the WNBA, Caitlin Clark would be flipping burgers at the local burger joint. That it was the WNBA that made Caitlin Clark. And my argument, and I think it's the truth, is that Caitlin Clark was made before the WNBA because of NIL and her success in college and all of those deals that she secured. If she never played in the WNBA, she'd still be a millionaire.
Okay. All right. We're way over. We'll be back with some New Hampshire sports, or we're going to do my opening takes. We'll be right back.
Your home for news, talk, and information. This is 107.7 WTPL, the pulse of New Hampshire.
Jen, Buddy looks amazing. I love his new haircut. Where'd you take him?
Nowhere. Wolfie's mobile pet spa came right to my house. No stressful car rides, no waiting rooms. Buddy got a full groom right in my driveway.
Really? Between work and the kids' schedules, I have no time to get Bella to the groomer. So they come to you?
Yes, they do.
That sounds like a dream. Bella hates car rides. Do they do big dogs?
Oh, yeah. All breeds, all sizes. And you don't even have to be home, so you can schedule anytime after the initial visit.
Nice.
And they don't just groom, they do dog walking and even pet sitting. When I went on vacation, they came and fed Buddy and took him on his daily walks at my house. No kennels, no stress.
That's perfect. I always feel guilty leaving Bella at a boarding place. How was Buddy after?
So happy. And they sent me updates and pictures. Plus, their walkers are trained, so I know he's in great hands.
I'm sold. I'm booking at Wolfie's of Concord in Manchester today.
Wolfie's of Concord in Manchester. Mobile grooming, pet sitting, and dog walking that comes to you. Pamper your pet today at WOOFIES.com.
Big news, Great Bay Spa and Sauna is expanding. For nearly 50 years, Great Bay Spa and Sauna has been your trusted source for hot tubs, all-season pools, and saunas. If you don't know them yet, they're family-owned in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, serving New England since 1976, helping families enjoy the very best in relaxation and wellness. And now they're bringing that same expertise to a second location, their brand new showroom at 357 Main Mall Road in South Portland. To celebrate, Great Bay is offering incredible discounts at both Portsmouth and South Portland locations. Save thousands on hot tubs, all-season pools, saunas, and more. Whether you're looking for stress relief, a new fitness routine, or pure indulgence, Great Bay Spa and Sauna has models and styles to fit every budget. Backed by nearly 5 decades of experience, knowledge, and service. Now you've got twice the opportunity to experience the ultimate in relaxation and fitness. Visit their brand new South Portland showroom at 357 Main Mall Road or their longtime Portsmouth location at 1850 Woodbury Avenue. Great Bay Spa and Sauna. Relaxation and wellness start here.
Rugs create space. When you start off with a rug, it's much easier to adapt to the rug. It's a little bit harder to adapt a rug to a space that already exists or already has furniture in it. And then there are times when I say no to rugs.
Jody Sleeper from American Cottage in Guilford, which specializes in U.S.-made furniture, custom and design services, handmade rugs, and gorgeous lighting.
There's times where I go into a dining room and some people say, well, I need a rug here as well. And you don't. You don't always. Sometimes if you're into having a bunch of little rugs everywhere, you might as well get wall-to-wall carpeting. I don't sell it, but I can certainly help you pick out something that's cool.
For handmade rugs and custom home furnishings and gifts, visit American Cottage, open Monday through Friday from 10 to 5, Saturday 10 to 3. In-house consulting is always available, so visit American Cottage at 9 Guilford East Drive or call for an appointment, 877-263-7268, 877-263-7268.
Coming up at noon, we talk tech with Kim Commando. In the meantime, we're back to Mike and the Hoss on the pulse of New Hampshire.
Mike and the Hoss, sports talk classics in New England Magic, broadcast fantastic. Wolfboro crew where the echoes scream. Fathers, coaches, chasing the dream.
603-228-2080. I'd like to know if there's anybody at the Granite State Mikes that has better intro music than we do, Charlie. That's what I want to know. We cover rap, we cover pop, we got everything.
We do.
It's just we're gonna do my opening takes. I like I said, I have a couple itches to scratch. One of them around the Ryder Cup. I don't know if you were able to watch any of it. The Americans made it interesting on Sunday, and I guess that ended up becoming the side story. Or Sunday, Sunday. They ended up losing by 2 overall. The Europeans retained the cup. Unfortunately, that wasn't the story of the whole weekend. The story of the whole weekend was the behavior of the American fans, and they went way over the line to a point where they embarrassed themselves. And I don't know. We said in jest beforehand, will New York? Yeah. Will they do, will they do that thing? Well, they went beyond that. And
I feel
they did almost like a dog pound kind of a mentality, Cleveland, where it almost wasn't safe for the European players in terms of their families and how they were treated and what was said. And they went way over the line. It wasn't a bubba booey thing. It was, you're fat, your wife does this, it's just way over the line. And the stupidity of the American fans to go after Rory when Rory pretty much single-handedly kept the PGA Tour afloat over the last 3 or 4 years by not going to live.
Right.
He was there before Scheffler became Scheffler, and he was the one that stuck around. If Rory goes to live, a lot of those other guys are going to go to live also, and you're basically going to be dealing with the Korn Ferry Tour on the PGA Tour. And that's not what happened. So for them to bust on Rory was a humongous mistake. And to a point where the PGA Tour commissioner reached out to Rory, personally, and apologized for the behavior of the American fans. So when the fans go too far when you start rooting for the other team, and that's how I felt. Did I want to see a comeback? Yes. Did I want to see the Americans? Yes. But I was rooting for Rory to make the putts. I was rooting for Lowry to make the putts. Because of how the fans were behaving, it was beyond obnoxious. And when they were at Brookline at the Country Club, we saw some of it. We starting to go down that road, but they went down that road this time, and then they went some. And it's too bad. It really is too bad. I thought it was a bad look for the Americans.
Yeah.
Do you have a thought on that one?
Yeah, I have a thought. I agree. I was starting to say I feel a little guilty because when we talked about this, we said, hey, we would love to see, as you've said, we'd like to see New York. But when we said New York, we meant like some hooting and hollering, making some noise, some cheers, that type of stuff. Not personal. Why does everything turn into personal attacks? It's ridiculous. We see this not only in the Ryder Cup, we see it spill into other sports as well. They start talking about their families, their wives, their girlfriends, whatever, their children. It's ridiculous that you just.
Charlie, you'd be naive to think that this doesn't have to do with who's sitting at 1600 Pennsylvania. You really would be naive to think that that's not. When the political climate now, it makes insulting people acceptable, and it's going to turn over into the general public, and we're seeing it happen. So yes, I am putting the blame on the political climate that has made insulting people acceptable. And I know we don't want to go political, but I believe that that's the case. We starting 10 years ago, and here we go. So,
well, yeah,
I'll leave it.
You're entitled to your opinion, Mr. Michael. So but I don't know. I don't know if it's political, but I think part of it, and I'm going to go here. I think part of it is New Yorkers being New Yorkers, and a lot of them sadly can be jerks, and they kind of cross that line. And Brookline, Mike, you said, yeah, we did see some of it, but we didn't see it to that level, and it's definitely increased. And we're seeing it spill in to other sports. We're seeing it spill into sports talk radio, Mike, where these clowns that are on sports talk radio are doing the same thing, and you're seeing it in big markets where they're insulting athletes, they're insulting owners, whatever, anybody that's involved with the sports, umpires, and they're taking it. There's one thing if you're bad at your job, like if you're an umpire and you're bad at your job, okay, we'll call you out on that. You're bad at your job, but we don't have to call you fat and ugly and your wife is this or that. That's ridiculous. It's taking over to the top. So clearly things need to change.
Okay, good segue, because my other opening take was about the NFL refereeing, and I want to scratch that itch too, because last weekend, we've talked about it before. We've talked about some of the penalties that are called. I think last weekend was the first time that I had heard the announcers chiming in on it to a level, and there's two that I wanted to share with you. In the Patriots game, I think it was Mark Schlereth that was doing the game, and there was a penalty that was away from the ball, and he made the comment. He said, this is getting ridiculous. The fans aren't here to see the yellow flags. 100% right. He's 100% right. And I've had a problem with false start penalties from day one. I think that football in general, this is not an NFL issue. We see this at Pop Warner. False start penalties that I think they should be eliminated from the game. Offsides and offsides. You have offsides for defense, offsides for offense if you cross the line. Do whatever you want on the other side of the line. But to be perfectly still for 3 seconds before the ball snapped is just a archaic rule that's causing the game to slow and lose momentum. So that was one comment that was made. The better comment was made by Troy Aikman, which happened to be Monday night. There was a penalty away from the ball. and it was like a defensive holding or something like that. It was ticky-tack. You see the stuff being ticky-tack. And Troy Aikman said, yes, it was a penalty, but was it necessary to be called? And I think that completely encapsulates the problem with football, is that you have 8 referees, correct me if I'm wrong on that number, Charlie, but you have 8 referees that are trying to basically justify their existence and throwing flags that have no impact on the play whatsoever. None whatsoever. And they become the story. And it's so frustrating when we see these kinds of things happening, and you see a touchdown that happened in the left corner of the end zone, but on the right side of the field, there was a little slight grab off the line, and to a guy that was really just a decoy on the other side of the field, and that's turns an exciting play into now a penalty, and so it is ruining the fan experience, and something has to happen. And I have some thoughts, and I still have time to get these in. First one, get rid of the false start penalties. Get rid of them. Totally, get rid of them. You can do what you want to do on that side of the ball, but you can't cross the line. I just don't understand why you have to be still for those 3 seconds. The defense doesn't have to be still. They don't have to be still. Why do you have to be still?
So I just want to wrap my head around this. So you're saying that as long as so where the football is placed, the center comes and that, so what you're saying, and I'm not disagreeing, I'm just trying to get clarification. What you're saying is on the offensive side of the ball, you can pretty much dance and do pirouettes and do whatever you want to do on your side of the football, as long as you don't cross that line.
The Dallas Cowboys used to stand up straight and then go back down on every single snap. Why is that legal? And this is probably my novice knowledge about the rules of the NFL on why this is necessary. But I think false start penalties are game ruiners. I really do. I believe that they ruin the game. They ruin the momentum and the fan experience. Defensive holding away from.
I'm okay with it. I was going to say, I'm okay with this because you put the line down the middle. Defense obviously can do what they want. Offense can do what they want. Ball is snapped.
Yes.
We play ball. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, you can have formation penalties. You can have illegal formations. You can have rules around those. That's fine. But the center jerking a little bit and losing 5 yards is insane. It's just dumb. Defensive holding away from the ball must be egregious. It has to be egregious. It has to affect the play, or somebody gets tackled to the ground away from the ball. It has to be egregious. Roughing the passers must be with careless intent. So we see a hand swipes across the quarterback's, the helmet, or the face or something like that. It has to be with careless intent, that when Jim McMahon got thrown to the ground, with somebody bear hugged him and threw him to the ground. I don't remember that back when the days with the Bears. That's a roughing the passer. Pass interference, 15 yards, and is no longer a spot foul.
Yeah.
No longer is that a spot foul. You get a 3rd and 35, and so they just said, go and try and get a penalty so you can get a first down. No. And then defensive holding, no more automatic first downs.
Yeah.
If it's a 3rd and 15 and there's a defensive holding, it's a 5-yard penalty, but it's an automatic first down, which is huge. It is huge. So no more automatic first downs. I'm done with that.
Yeah.
No one is asking for more penalties or tighter called games. The fans are not saying that game wasn't called tight enough. No, they're not saying that.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's where I'm at with that. And I bet you that these changes, these opinions are probably more popular than you think. If you were able to poll the fans and to a point where they understand what I'm talking about, I think that these would make the game go by quicker. And Troy Aikman was 100% right. Yes, it was a penalty, but was it necessary?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
last quick thing. I like your ideas, especially the defensive holding. It should be a 5-yard penalty, replay the down. I like no spot fouls for pass interference. Get rid of spot fouls altogether. 15-yard penalty, so much better, because you're right. If you're inside the 40 and you're throw up a Hail Mary, it's ridiculous. Last night, I had the opportunity, I was working the chain gang of a high school football game, and there was a touchdown scored. The ball went to the right side. There were two players in front of me, so about literally 50 yards away from the play, that had a little scuffle, and they called personal fouls on both, which is fine. You had to replay the down. So the coaches take both these players off. You have to replay the down, no touchdown. And they had nothing to do with the play. They didn't even make a block to begin with to help get the touchdown scored. So ridiculous. It's fine if you want to give a personal foul, just send both the players off the field, and then that'd be better than having to replay the down that they had nothing to do with.
All right, Charlie, you want to read New Hampshire sports real quick before we go to break?
I would love to. New Hampshire sports is brought to you by Bailey's Bubble. Family-owned and operated Bailey's Bubble in downtown Wolfboro serves the finest ice cream in the state May through October. If you can't make it to Wolfboro for ice cream, you can still order their hot fudge, panucci, and butterscotch sauces at baileysbubble.com. My favorite is their homemade hot fudge. When placing your order, don't forget to tell them that Mike and the Hoss sent you.
All right, we're going to go to break, and when we come back, we get trivia, and Barnsley Cinemas is hosting our trivia today, so give us a call.
This is the Pulse of New Hampshire, 107.7 WTPL.
Autumn has arrived, bringing the best of the harvest with it. Celebrate fall at the Concord Farmers Market. Many vendors are in peak harvest season, meaning you can enjoy crisp apples, fresh cider, warm donuts, sweet maple treats, colorful squash, just picked corn, garden greens, seasonal fruits, and a great selection of bakery products. The Concord Farmers Market has beautiful fresh-cut flowers, local maple syrup and honey, dog treats, eggs, milk, fresh fish, coffee and wine, and pasture-raised meats. And it's not too early to start your holiday shopping. Explore handcrafted items from local artisans like body care, candles, wood products, and more. With over 50 vendors every Saturday from 8:30 to noon on Capitol Street, right next to the State House, there's something for everyone, even your well-behaved pets. Mark your calendars. The last market of the season is Saturday, October 25th. Dress up for Halloween while you shop. Cash, SNAP, EBT, credit, and debit are all accepted. Support your local farmer. Buy local at the Concord Farmers Market. Visit ConcordFarmersMarket.com for all the information.
Join Mark Patrick seminars and stop smoking without cravings, irritability, weight gain, or your money back. Early bird special, only $49.99 guaranteed. That's right. Don't just cut down, but stop smoking once and for all. Also, lose all the weight and let Mark Patrick hypnosis destroy unwanted cravings. Seminars, Thursday, October 16th. Best Western Plus Landmark Inn, Laconia. Weight loss seminar, 5:30 p.m. Stop smoking seminar 8. Or Saturday, October 18th at the Doubletree by Hilton, Concord. Weight loss seminar, 11 a.m. Stop smoking seminar, 2 p.m. Sign up at markpatrickseminars.com.
Hi, I'm Scott with Bangor Wealth Management of New Hampshire. People often ask me, is my future secure? Here are some questions I ask in return. What are you trying to accomplish? How do you feel about it? How do you decide who to trust? When you think about it, we could all use a few more answers. Let's make a plan that works for you. Visit bangor.com/wealth.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key
getting
part of the
a real loner.
Strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Did you know your aluminum pull tabs can make a big difference? Save and donate your aluminum pull tabs from beverage cans to the Becktash Shriners. Drop them off at Becktash Shriners, 189 Pembroke Road, Concord, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., excluding holidays. They'll recycle the tabs and use the funds to transport children and their families to and from Shriners hospitals, regardless of their ability to pay. Turn your aluminum pull tabs into hope by dropping them off at Becktash Shriners. For more information, visit becktashshriners.org.
Get in touch with the show anytime at thepulseofnh.com and on the free-to-download Pulse of NH app. Now, back to Mike and the Hoss on the Pulse of New Hampshire.
Mike and the Hoss on the radio waves. Teachers by day, coaches making plays.
603-228-2080. That's the number you're going to want to call for trivia. That Charlie's going to tell you what our question is and who's sponsoring.
All right. Trivia today is sponsored by Barnsley's Cinema, where Tinseltown meets our hometown. Visit Barnsley's Cinemas in Barrington, Meredith, and Lincoln, New Hampshire. All right. Today's trivia question. You're going to get a gift card, get a chance to go to the movies. What nickname was given to baseball legend Lou Gehrig due to his remarkable durability and consecutive games played streak? What nickname was given to baseball legend Lou Gehrig due to his remarkable durability and consecutive games played streak? 603-228-2080, 603-228-2080 for a chance to win a gift card to Barnes-Z's Cinema.
On a side note, Charlie and Dog, who was the first baseman that Lou Gehrig replaced to begin the streak? What was his name?
Pip.
Wally Pip.
Wally Pip. Yeah.
And I still remember, not only have you shared the story, Mike, of course, but the whole, wasn't it Bill Belichick who had shared that story with, who was it with? It was,
Wes Welker.
Wes Welker because of Julian Edelman.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
Wes Welker. Yeah.
Yeah. And, I learned about it when I was in college. I was playing at college, and my coach always used to say, you don't want to be Wally Pip. And like, who the heck's Wally Pip? And then he told the story that Wally Pip was the player that Lou Gehrig that replaced. So it looks like we got a phone call. Dog's putting a name down. So we're going to talk about the Red Sox in a second, but we'll see if this person has the correct answer as soon as we see his name on our board. And it is Mike from Concord. Mike, what's the answer to trivia today?
Hey guys, great show. Lou Gehrig was the Iron Horse.
Yes, he was.
Well done.
Awesome.
Well done.
Thank you, Mike.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Are you, Mike, before you go, congratulations on winning the Barnes-Z Cinemas gift card. But are you a baseball fan?
Red Sox fan always. Since I was a
Awesome.
kid.
Okay. Yeah. So it's been,
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? Just give us your overall thoughts. Successful season or unsuccessful season?
Disappointing. I mean, the ups and downs, but I think I don't know what you guys think, but I think it might be Seattle in the World Series. I hope so. I don't want to see the Yankees get in there.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, we good chance to see maybe Seattle. Good chance to see the Brewers there. That would be exciting.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. Anybody
do it. That'd be nice. Yeah.
Yeah, anybody but the Yankees. I agree with you.
Awesome.
As long as the Sox are out, it really doesn't matter to me. But I'd like to see somebody new, like like the Brewers or Seattle win it.
Yeah, sounds.
I'm
good.
with you, Mike. My interest level goes down extremely, especially when the Sox are in the playoffs and get eliminated. When they're not in the playoffs, then I kind of tune in a little bit more. I'll invest in a team or two. But when the Sox are in it, I'm all invested in them. So when they're out, then it's hard to switch allegiances. So anyway,
I agree. It was so uplifting when Cedar Rafaela hit that walk-off triple the other last week. Was awesome to get him into the playoffs, and then it was disappointing the other night. 4-0. It was terrible.
Awesome.
But, that's the way it goes. You play the games.
Right.
All right.
Well,
Mike, thanks for calling.
Yeah.
And congratulations. Stay on the line, and Dog will take your info.
You bet. Thanks.
Right. Yeah, thanks.
So let's take a couple minutes to talk about the Red Sox. What do you think, Charlie? Successful season or not a successful season?
I'm going to say, I mean, if I could use Mike's term, definitely disappointing. But I'm going to say successful, because if a team makes it into the postseason, there's some success. Now, that being said, you have to build off this success. So wild card next year is not going to do it for me. Next year, I mean, I think AL East would do it for me. So overall, I think it was a success. We kind of beat up on the Red Sox a bit where they didn't spend a ton of money, but they did enough. I'll use that term. They did enough to be able to put a product out there that played baseball in October.
I mentioned last week, I think it was successful in terms of they really set themselves up for next year. They have a lot of pieces in place. They have a starting rotation now that's in place, whether you have Giolito or not. Connor Early, he pitched very well. If the Red Sox could have fielded behind him a little bit, he would have probably gone into the 7th or 8th. And I mean, you can't match what Schitzler did. With the Yankees, that game was more about him than anything else. But if I was going to argue, I'd say that the Red Sox lost the series in Game 2. That was their window.
Yeah, that was the game. Yeah.
But overall, I said at the beginning of the year, I thought it was going to be a roller coaster year. I thought we were going to see a lot of ups and downs with this team, and because of their youth and how they were built. And I was right about that. There was a lot of ups and downs with this team. It ended up being that there was more ups. They won more games at the end of the day than we thought. I think they going into next year, I think 90 is the watermark for them. It's no longer 81. I think this group is 90, but they have a starting rotation. They need to find a first baseman. I think Jarren Duran did not do himself any favors. I think he's now a very tradable asset for the Red Sox, because if he would have showed up for the playoffs and been that guy, if he'd have been that guy in the playoffs, then they probably would have thought twice about it. But he wasn't that guy. He struggled. He missed balls. He had like 1 for 11 at the plate. A lot of big strikeouts. He wasn't that guy. And so now you look at their outfield as Anthony, Rafaela, and Abreu, which is a really good outfield. You bring in a DH, maybe Schwarber. That's being talked a lot. He's available. And then you find yourself a first baseman. You move Story over to second base if he doesn't opt out. You got Mayer playing third. Hopefully Bregman doesn't opt out. And now you're rolling. Now you've got a lot of pieces in place to go forward with, and to almost to be that leader in the clubhouse, out of the gate with that kind of lineup, and the defense is going to be there. So I think the future for the Red Sox looks pretty good, and I don't see them having to invest a ton of money. They have the rotation. They have the bullpen. They need a first baseman. They need a DH. That's what they need, and figure out the Bregman thing.
Yeah. Question. I do. Speaking of Red Sox, I have a question for you guys. It was asked to me last night. AL Cy Young, how close will it be? Does Crochet have a chance, or is it Skubal all the way?
I would give Crochet about a 15 to 20% chance, and I would say that Skubal is going to be somewhere in the vicinity of 80% chance.
Okay,
that's how I would look at it. And I'll bet you the votes break down that way. What do you think, Dog?
I actually think Crochet is going to win the Cy Young, because Skubal, the last September, he had a September swoon. So, and especially, I think the writers, when they saw that game against Cleveland, where he, had to basically snap the ball, essentially doing the whole, bend over to do that. That I think that's a lasting image for some of the sports writers for that game in Cleveland. Like, okay, you just lost yourself the Cy Young Award, whereas Garrett Crochet right here just keeps mowing down guys and getting the Red Sox into the postseason.
Yeah, Vegas has Skubal as a little bit of a lead over Crochet, and I mean, it shouldn't matter, but Detroit's still playing. I know it shouldn't matter, but those little things. Has the vote already happened? A vote's been turned. I don't think
voting is off when the season is done. The regular season.
Yeah,
but we'll see. I don't know. We'll see. All right, when we come back, we're going to talk Patriots, and we're going to do our picks.
News, information, and discussion. This is 107.7 WTPL.
Dad, who's the best doctor in the world?
It's you, Violet.
Me?
That's right. The best doctor is the one inside you.
How do I know how to be a doctor?
It comes naturally. We're born with an inner knowing. Healing messages are sent from our brain to our body. But when bones in our spine misalign, they interfere with our brain-body connection.
Why do spine bones misalign?
Daily life, stress, poor posture, sitting at a computer, car accidents, slips, falls, sports, even the birth process, and definitely too much texting.
Is that why you adjust us?
Yes, I adjust you to keep you healthy. Things go wrong when the brain can't talk to your body properly. People come to us for help with their neck and back pain, headaches, asthma, allergies, ear infections, hand numbness, digestive problems, and more.
So what do you do?
I adjust them. No drugs, no surgeries. This month, a complete examination with any necessary x-rays is just $59 at Crossroads Chiropractic in Meredith, Pembroke, Epping, and Bedford. Call 603-575-9080 or go to crossroadschiropractic.com.
Chiropractic, because your body heals itself.
The excitement is building as the Birch Tree Center prepares for its 14th annual fundraising auction on November 15th. With over 175 prizes up for bid, get ready for an exciting opportunity to score amazing finds and to make an impact. This event combines the thrill of shopping with the power of giving, as every purchase helps support students with autism in our community. Attendees can look forward to premium offerings, including coastal getaway, gift cards, family entertainment, and outdoor adventures such as golfing, surfing, and skiing. Wow! Birch Tree's Benefit for Learning auction will offer live and silent auctions, raffles, live music by Wellfleet, appetizers, and desserts. It's sure to be a fun evening, and it's a perfect way to support a great cause. The event takes place at 7 p.m. on Saturday, November 15th, 2025, at the Regatta Room attached to the Shipyard Brew Pub in Elliott, Maine. Register for our event today by visiting our website at birchtreecenter.org/auction ticks or by calling us directly at 603-433-4192. Thank you.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19.
Yeah.
Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
With Progressive, it's easy to reach customer service with our app, website, chat, or by phone. Because when getting help is hard, it's not help at all.
Little help. A little help over here. Thank you for calling Bench Press Assistance. What? Due to excessive gym volume, all available spotters are currently lifting heavy weights off the chests of other bench pressers. Seriously? Please continue to hold, and we will remove the barbell from your chest in the order in which your cry for help was received.
Getting assistance should be easy. With Progressive, it is. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
You're listening to the Granite State's own Mike and the Hoss on the Pulse of New Hampshire.
Mike and the Hoss on the radio waves. Teachers by day, coaches making plays. Sports talking.
So last week's poll question was what we thought was the number one rivalry in terms of, or the rivalry that we were passionate about. Dog and Charlie this time. What were the results?
On X at the Pulse of NH, guys, it was Red Sox versus Yankees. A little recency bias, if you ask me. No, I'm just kidding. It just happens. So 81.8%. Whereas Celtics and Lakers was at 9.1%, as was the Bruins and the Canadiens. Nothing on the Patriots and the Jets.
Yeah.
How about Facebook, Charlie?
On Facebook, it was 82% were Red Sox, Yankees, and then you had a little more than 10% was actually Bruins, Habs, which was nice to see, and then the rest of it kind of petered out. But just like Dog, you didn't have any Patriots, Jets in there. So
this week, the Bruins are kicking off their season on Wednesday, and you can listen to their game against the Capitals on the Pulse of New Hampshire radio stations. Our poll question has to do with the Bruins, Dog. What is it?
Will the Boston Bruins make the playoffs in the 2025-2026 season? Yes or no?
All right.
That's a good question.
I mean, I'd say that most people probably feel no, that this is not a based on what they did in the offseason and how they're going to, Marco Sturm. It's going to be a pretty boring Bruins season. Get ready for 2-1. Just get ready for that score, 2-1. Get ready for shootouts. Get ready for 2-1. Get ready to be outshot 2-1. It's going to be that kind of a season for the Bruins because they don't.
I mean, do you think Swayman's gonna be that good to have 2-1 games? My fear is he's a sieve. I don't know. I think he signed that contract and we're seeing the true colors.
I think that his play last year had to do with the preseason and the lack of for him, and then the culture in the clubhouse in regards towards him. They're a year removed from that. I think Swayman is going to be pretty representative, but he's going to have a lot of help too, because the way that Marco Sturm coaches is a very Claude Julien approach. There's traps. There's, pack it in around the goalie. It's not wide open. So you're going to see there's going to be one shot, and then there's going to be they're probably playing with three defensemen. There's going to be two defensemen and a center hanging right next to him to get rid of the puck. And, a lot of guys are going to be blocking shots. It's that kind of a system that they're going to play. So he's not going to have to be spectacular. He's just going to have to be serviceable, and they're going to have 2-1 games. That's what it's going to be. But I don't think it means playoffs. I don't think it means playoffs. Real quick, the Patriots had a a rare blowout win, or at least it's rare since in the last 5 years. It's Carolina. People are poo-pooing that win because Carolina stinks, but Carolina just beat Atlanta 30-0 the week before, and then Atlanta beat Cleveland, I believe, last week. Not the Cleveland. Who they beat?
Cleveland.
Who did Atlanta beat? Atlanta beat somebody last week. And I don't know. I felt that the Patriots looked like a really representative, solid NFL team on both sides of the ball last week.
No, I agree. And getting the wins when you can get the win is huge. And you're right. They looked like a team that was last week well coached. They played well. They executed well. Everything from the offense to the defense to the special teams. It was a good win for the Patriots, especially going into this week's game.
Yeah, so they have Buffalo this week. They're in prime time on Sunday night. Thank God, because it's supposed to be record-setting for temperatures tomorrow, so I don't want to be spending it inside watching the game. So it's tomorrow night. That's good news. Buffalo's the 7 or 8 point favorites, which makes sense, but I don't think Buffalo's unbeatable. Sorry, Bernie. I don't think Buffalo's unbeatable. And I think that the Patriots have a little momentum coming into this game. So I give them a puncher's chance. I really do. I give the Patriots a puncher's chance tomorrow.
Mike, come on. I mean, Buffalo's 4-0. Buffalo is going to the Super Bowl.
Are they going undefeated?
Buffalo,
are they going undefeated?
They're not going undefeated, but the Patriots, I don't think are.
So there's a loss in their schedule.
Beat them.
There's a loss in their schedule.
It's
Okay, I just want to make sure that there's a loss in their schedule somewhere.
Two more years, Mike. 2 more years. 2 more years.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah.
Well, the window's closing for Buffalo again. Sorry, Bernie. The window is closing for Buffalo, so they better walk through it very soon. But anyway, so we got to get to the picks, and because we only have a few minutes left right now, I'm tied for first place with Charlie.
Yes.
So I didn't look at the bylaws now. Do I still pick first? Or do we alternate now?
I think the bylaws is you've had the lead. You can continue to pick first until next week when I take the lead.
All right. First game, we have the Commanders at 2-2. Jaden Daniels is coming back to play at the Chargers 3-1. That is travel, so I'm going to go Chargers on that one.
Travel, probably doesn't have much of an impact in this, other than that the Chargers are a better team, so I'm taking the Chargers.
Dog?
LA, baby.
All right. Next game is the Buccaneers at 3-1 against the Seahawks at 3-1. I think more people thought the Buccaneers would be 3-1, so rather than the Seahawks, I like the Baker Mayfield thing. They almost took down little bad ball luck last week. I've got the Bucs traveling, and they're going to get the win.
Yeah, I mean, last week's game was a heck of a game for the Bucs. So you're right. Baker Mayfield, he finds a way to win. I am going with Tampa.
Dog?
At the Bucs, by the way, both teams are going to be wearing their retro uniforms tomorrow. So.
Ooh, I do like the retro uniforms.
Next game, the Broncos at the Eagles. Well, since the Eagles are 4-0, I guess that Charlie's going to pick them because they're not going to lose this year either.
Please.
But the Eagles are interesting because they can't seem to throw the ball very well. It's just they're winning games, but they don't look great. But I think they are going to hold serve. They're at home. I think they hold serve, so I'm going to go Eagles.
I hate the fact that we're picking the same teams, and it doesn't have to do with the fact that the Eagles are 4-0. It has to do with the fact that the Eagles.
Well, that's why you're picking the Bills. You said the Bills are 4-0, so they have to pick them.
I was picking the Bills, and I haven't picked the Bills yet, but I'm picking the Bills because the Bills are going to the Super Bowl. That's why.
Are you picking the Eagles?
Of course, I'm picking the Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Dog.
Philly.
Okay. The Raiders at 1-3 at the Colts 3-1. I guess I have to pick first. I don't believe in the Colts. I really don't. I don't think that they're gonna. I can't see them going 16-1, but they're gonna hold on this one because I don't think the Raiders are that good. So go. Sorry, we gotta hurry up.
We're gonna disagree because Tom Brady has the inside knowledge. The Raiders are gonna win.
Okay.
Colts.
And then lastly, the Patriots at the Bills. Oh, I'm going Patriots just to piss you off, Charlie. And sorry, Bernie, I'm going Patriots.
Bills.
It's the big upset. I know you're going to, of course, you're going to pick the Bills. What do you got, Dog? Bills?
Bills.
All right, go Patriots. Just ignore these two.
Guys.
Have a great week.
After the